All right, welcome to week two of creating an automation business from scratch. It has been probably a couple of days or weeks since I did my last video for good reason. One, I get overwhelmed with everything I have going on. I do these automations as well as life gets in the way, and then social media influencing as well. But just trying to stay up to date with everything. So I'm not perfect. I'm not here to paint myself out to be perfect. And there's a lot of times where I am human, so there's times where I may fall short. But I have a lot of updates for today that I wanted to give to you because I just been doing a lot of thinking and trying to figure out the next steps in this process to make it easier for you when you're trying to create your automation business. It was something that aligns out with a little bit more of my style. And so as I was looking at it, it was very difficult trying to get clients for the automations. I think I showed the Fiverr route and Upwork, and so that client ended up not showing up. And so when I started really looking at the things, I realized I'm like, wait a minute. On Fiverr and Upwork, they're trying to get the lowest of the low pay and the most bang out of their buck. So they're only paying like $100, maybe max $500 per project, and that's just not something that aligns with what I do per se. Because with my business, this is more subscription based and retainer based. So they're paying a high ticket price over the course of time, and so if they come in low at like 50, 75, $100, even $500 for one project, that's what they're going to have in their mind. So when you try to like do the sticker shock, it's like, hey, this is just an introductory, um, is actually a lot higher. There could be a lot of churn when it comes to that. And so what I realize, what I'm personally good at, and what you may be good at is a little bit different, but I can only speak on what I'm good at. And the path of least resistance for me is going to networking events. I'm a extroverted kind of person. I like going out, talking to different people, and being in different environments for a certain amount of time. Because after a while, even my social media runs out, and I'm just like, look, I'll see y'all later. I gotta go home. So I say all that to say that I got into some government contracting rooms, and so at first I was going to hold off on government contracting for a few more years until I at least hit 30. But for now, after talking to my tax strategist, he's like, look, there's a lot of people who need your services and they're ready to go. They've been in business for a while, and so that they're more ready to go. And so like that was a catalyst in addition to my business partner who knows a bunch of different people in one office space, right? And so he's able to just kind of go from person to person in the office space that he's already seeing every day. One person, an insurance agent, another one's an estate attorney, another one is a CPA, and all these different things are all housed in one area, kind of like a WeWork kind of situation, where they all just work out of their respective offices if they want to. And so it's a lot easier to do that warm approach as opposed to a cold approach and cold emails and things of that nature. Not to say that the LinkedIn automation, I don't see it on my screen, but the LinkedIn automation, I was actually getting people responding back to me. I just didn't want to pay the upfront money for that subscription because I have so many other subscriptions that I have to pay for that are kind of eating away at my net profit margin. So I was like, look, let me just find one thing that I'm good at and stick with that. For me, again, that is just warm introductions. Somebody saying, hey, talk to Alex. He's got this automation business going on. I think that you guys will really make it work and go from there. And so I've had a lot more success with that and a lot more enthusiasm and introduction, like warm introductions with that. So over time, it's just going to be something that is going to have to be a numbers game of me talking to different individuals and figuring out who's serious, why they're serious, what makes them a good clientele, and start trying to duplicate that process. So again, it's something that I got overwhelmed with over the past couple of weeks with everything that's going on and all the stress and strain. But now I'm back at it to try to one, stay consistent with recording, two, going to more of these networking events and just kind of putting myself out there, especially in the government contracting world, because their budgets are a lot higher. They're getting awarded contracts that most time, if you're a beginner, I think beginners in government contracting are getting anything less than 100 or $500,000. Excuse me. So if they're getting one contract, we may not be able to work directly with the government because like things like make.com and and Miro and all these other platforms that we're using may not be best suited for them because of like compliance and stuff like that. But what we can do is work with the subcontractor or the person who's doing the work for the government. And so we can automate their processes because they're just mainly doing the follow-ups and the automation or the outreach and making sure things are staying on pace. So we can work with them, and they have a lot higher budgets to work with us because it's already a contract's been awarded. They're already in their mind thinking about it, and they are always trying to get new contracts. So that it just makes more sense. The clientele has more money to pay for our services. It's easier to get into those rooms and network with those kind of people, and it's easier to get warm outreaches and saying and referrals because everybody's so bent on the idea of integrating AI and then figuring out how to buy back their time. And that's something that you can really hammer with your business. And I've been doing with my business is just saying, hey, look, I help businesses automate 85% of their administrative tasks. The things that they don't want to do and have to do that are very vital to their business, I help them buy back their time so that they can go spend more time with family, friends, vacationing, or whatever it is that they want to do and be able to grow their business without them having to physically be there. That's a very big value proposition because now it's like people are like, well, I want more time. I want more ability to step away from my business. I want to be able to hand things off. And they start painting this picture and they're like, oh, well, such and such was just complaining about how they don't have enough time and whatever. And let me go introduce you to them. And so within the first event, I had so many people just like grab me by the hands, like, "Oh, come talk to this person." And I'm like, "This is the exact thing that I wanted." It's a lot less of a path of least resistance. If I might be saying that right, I don't know. But one of the things that I was really happy to get was this workflow down here. And what this is just um, automatically saving transcripts to Google Docs and then parsing that information. So just to explain it in case it's going to look a little bit different because I was kind of testing things out. But basically, what we're doing, try to zoom in just a little bit. What we're doing here is we're pulling the Fireflies AI transcript, so it's transcribing automatically Zoom meetings and Google Meets meetings, transcribing that for free. You can buy the paid version within Zoom, but it's paid. So, and then once you get it, then that's it. There's nothing else that happens. So what we can do is transcribe it, pull that information, put it into one big document. So over the course of a year, you have all your transcripts and all your calls in one master document. It's going to then analyze this script that it gets, the transcript, and it's going to start creating your action steps and SOPs, and then putting that all into one document, and then putting that into ClickUp, which is like your project management or task manager. So let's say that you have a virtual assistant and then maybe some other person that's helping you on the business. It's three of you guys. And so what you can do is say, hey, ChatGPT, we have three people on the team, myself, assistant, and another assistant or somebody like that, or so a specialist, like customer support specialist or something like that. And so what I want you to do is create the SOP or the action steps, and then I want you to delegate each action step to the appropriate role that you think it would be. We put that in a ClickUp, and it automatically notifies each person of what they're supposed to be doing, action steps and deadlines and everything else like that, all happening automatically. Right there, that's already a big value proposition to people because now it's like, wait a minute, I don't have to take notes during my meeting. I can just talk. And then when I'm done taking it, the action steps are already done for me and delegated and notifying the people of that. That saves so much time. That's 3 to 5 hours right there per project that somebody is able to now save every time that they have a project. Second thing is that we're going to parse the information from our master script. So now we're going to have our one big document with all of our calls on it. We're going to pull out all the information that we need, our top biggest objections, put that into another document. So we have all of our transcripts, and then we have all the things that allow us to be even better moving forward, which is our client sentiment, the willingness to move forward to next steps, objections, pain points, you name it, whatever that you feel is relevant for your business or for that client. You can put that all in one separate document so you can kind of train another AI bot on all of your processes and how to get better. Down here in this flow, this is going to analyze the current transcript from Fireflies, and then it's going to say, okay, cool. This is what could have been done better. This is what could have been done a different way, said a different way. These are things that are working. This is how we're going to make it even more efficient, straight to the point, but still building that rapport. And then you're going to put that into one document for your sales team to be able to look at and just read from. So imagine that each time you have a conversation, it's training the AI bot to get better, and then you give that script to your next salesperson, and that's when they train the next script and the next script and the next script, to the point where you finally get to a script where it's like, hey, no, we have a very high closing ratio with this script. So that's what this aim is down here in this little branch here. So you have, as you can see, you already have a lot going on. Up here, you have SOPs created and tasks being delegated. You have transcripts in this one. You have information being parsed out, your objections, pain points, things of that nature. And then down here, you have an overall script that's getting better and better each time that you talk or your salespeople talk. So it's automatically training your sales team without you having to train them yourself. We're pulling out all the top 5 biggest objections, putting that into a spreadsheet. We're pulling out the amount of times that has been referenced and then putting that into a spreadsheet as well in that same spreadsheet. How we made this better. How I made this better is by spending countless hours. I was up until like midnight for like 6 hours straight, just trying to figure out how to make this better. And I'm going through the make.com training. So Make actually has training, which I think is like somewhere over here, the resource hub. I'm not going to click it now, but so I'm going through the training to figure out how to make things better. And that's one of the things I learned is the parsing, the JSON parser. So when you're selecting these things, all of these, this right here, objection summary, this is a JSON format. All of these little things that you can choose from is all JSON. And so what that means is if this is JSON, I don't know why I'm emphasizing it so hard, but JSON, if it's all JSON, then that means we can create our own fields. And so that's what we're doing here. So we're getting the master script with all the transcripts and all the calls there. We're pulling out the top 5 biggest objections. We're pulling out how many times those objections were referenced. And then we're pulling out, we're going to use the result, the end result of that. So whatever this outputs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to now have it output in JSON, right? So here's my script that I use, analyze this text from here. Create a list of the top 5 most referenced objections. Not all of them are going to be exactly the same, but they may be in a general area, so keep that in mind when creating your list. Your output should be in JSON string format only, combining both the list of top 5 objections and the count of each objection. The JSON object should follow this structure. Now, as I was going through the training, this is where I got this from. So I didn't fully create this myself, but what I did notice is that there weren't any spacing. There wasn't spacing. So when this was outputting or giving me the result, what it was doing is it was putting it in true JSON format, which is kind of similar to this, where you have like your curly brace right here. This thing is called your curly brace. And then it would like hit the enter button. So it would look like this. And then this would be like down here, something like that. And so what I noticed was when it was in that, when it had all these extra spacings, it wasn't going through for some reason. Like I kept getting error messages like over here in this iterator. So for some reason, it was just throwing it off. But when I was like, wait a minute, I had the exact same code. I would copy this and it had the spacings and the extra lines and everything else like that. And I had the exact same code and I had versus this where there's no spacing, and the one with no spacing was working. The one with spacing for some reason was not working. So I just decided, all right, cool. Well, I'll just do what I need to do. So you can type all this out, or if you send me a direct message, then I can go ahead and send this over to you as well. So it's a little bit easier. I can send you this entire script. I can just copy and paste this or this entire thing. Honestly, I can copy and paste. I did learn this thing here where you can import and export the blueprint. And so what that means is this entire scenario, right? This entire thing is what is a blueprint. And so I can export this blueprint and then send it to you, and you can import it so that you can just have this plug and play ready to go. And the only thing that you would need to change is like if you're Google Sheet, you just need to connect your Google Sheet name, your account there. and make sure that you're selecting the actual like sheet ID and the name and the file and everything. Everything else will be there though, right? The objection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will already be there, so you don't have to recreate all of that stuff. So in here, we're pulling the result. As you can see, it's starting to pulse. This one's right here is pulsing. It's pulling this result and putting it into an iterator. And what an iterator does is getting information, right, from one source, i.e. our ChatGPT, and then splitting it up into, I don't know if you see these smaller arrows, but it's splitting up into different arrows and different things that we want to pull out. And these different things right here is what I was saying earlier, is these, right? So objection 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5. So I have ChatGPT that's going to output. So we go to choices, 1, messages, content, right? So now it's outputting. And as you can see, it is outputting it with the spacing and everything else like that. Just don't know why it's doing that. It still does it, but somehow it's working. Sometimes it won't work. Sometimes it does. For the most part, it does. I think I'm at a good point where it does work. But as you can see, objection summary. Objection 1 is cause concerns. The count is 5. Objection 2 is skepticism about need value. And the amount of times it was referenced is 4, and so on and so forth, right? So now what we have is our JSON. Right here, we got our objection summary. So now objection 1 is cause concerns. So when I go in here, objection 1 is now right there, right? So we have our objection here. Objection 1, cause concerns, count 5. We go to our iterator. Objection 1, cause concerns, count 5, right? Skepticism. So now this is our objection 1. This is what we named objection 2, objection 3. So now when I go into the Google Sheets, objection 1 with no space, objection 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now when I update the row, it's going to update row number 2. So when I go to row number 2, which is this one, cause concerns, skepticism about need value, hesitation about complexity and overkill. We're going to do the same thing for 3 and 4. So over here, we got, this one is updating row 3 with our count 1. So we go over here, our count 1 right there is 5. Our count 2 is 4. And how do we set that up? Again, that was in here with this ChatGPT. Act as an expert small business consultant that knows how to grow a business to $10 million. Analyze this text from the ChatGPT result before and create a really thought-provoking question you would ask to help them think about ways to limit and overcome that objection. Your question should be in plain English or easy to read English that can get to the root cause of the issue without giving the exact answer away. So I set that as the ChatGPT assistant. So that's my message to the assistant. And as from my perspective as a user, your output should be in JSON string format only. The JSON object should match this structure exactly with no extra spaces. And then I just kind of pasted it like this. So we have our objection 1, question 1A, objection 2, question 2A. So actually I don't need this. So I can just, I'll keep it because I don't want to break it. I don't. So I just put 1A, 2A. Oh, that's why I did it, because I was trying to get 2 questions, but the 2 questions wasn't working. So it's fine now. It does work with 1 question. For some reason, it doesn't work with 2 questions. I don't know why. Like it would just kept tabbing, and then never inputting anything. But with 1, it does work. So what I get is the objection, and then the value is the question. So when I go over here to this iterator, this second iterator, right, we're pulling all the objections from this result. And this result, if I zoom out just a little bit, here we go. So if I go here, 92 right there, 92 right there. So now it's pulling the result. It's now parsing that JSON that we got right here. So choices 1, this is what this entire text is what this purple one sees. And then it's like, okay, I'll pull out the information. Oh, well, there's something in parentheses here. So obviously I need whatever's behind this colon right there, I need to grab, which is this. So whatever's in this parentheses here, I need to grab whatever's in the parentheses behind it. Whatever's in the parentheses here, I need to grab within what is in the parentheses here. This one is now pulling all that information, right? All this source is coming in from this one and then it's putting out into the options. The options are now object 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So that's how we get here. So if I run this again, right here, so we run, starting to run there, come back here, you'll start seeing these change up just a little bit. There we go. Now we have different questions. These start changing as well. Right, our top 5 biggest objections, and now we have a graph that also changes as well. So we know that 31% of our objections are cost concern. The next biggest one is 21%, which is transition challenges. So as we start thinking about this, the question that we can ask is, how can we demonstrate the long-term cost savings that outweigh the initial investment? That is just a thought-provoking question where it's like, okay, well, we should be doing this, and that'll address the cost concern. And if we can do that before the client even has the chance to get there, and we put their mind at ease before they even have the chance to say anything in the transcript, well, now this objection starts going lower and lower and lower in the results. So now we'll have a new number 1, number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's that. So that's everything that I've been learning over the past couple of weeks. It does take me a little while because, again, I have a day job. I have other businesses that I'm running and trying to make sure that I'm going at a pace that it makes sense. One thing that I'm not plagued with, but I just have a tough time is just sitting still and sitting on my hands because I want to do so much. And if there's anybody else out there that kind of like gravitates to this and like if this is how you feel, you know exactly what this means. Where shiny object syndrome, where it's like you want to do so much, but learning to really just hone in on one craft has been one of my top biggest things that I'm working on, and so it's just a slow and steady pace. So going back here, we have week 2. Implement initial go high level automations for lead nurturing and onboarding, which I'll go to in a sec. Secure 2 beta clients at a discounted rate in exchange for in-depth feedback and case studies. I have 1 so far, and I'm working on the other one. She's in insurance, and so she's just like, look, price is my biggest thing right now because I have to get this, and this going. Let's try it. She had told me last month, she's like, let's try next month, and then we can go from there. So I'm hoping that that'll be my next beta client that I can go through and lock that in. And then once I do, then I can have a lot more automations because I'm right now, the way that I'm going about it is I'll go to TikTok and look up these automations and different people who are doing the automation business and see what they're creating. And then I'll recreate that, and I can create testimonial videos and show like, hey, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I've done for a client. And so actually that same make script or this one scenario. So this scenario, what I did was I created 2 videos, one for estate attorneys, one for wedding planners or event planners. And I basically just said, hey, this is what I've done. That's my Airbnb right there. So as you can see, I'm like literally still doing stuff. What I did was I started off the video just saying, hey, in this video, I'm gonna show you how we automate 85% of the onboarding process for an estate attorney, for a wedding planner, for whoever that you want to go for. And I just literally just talked about it. I said, most times, like the exact same thing that I said in this video is the exact same thing that I did in my Loom video, where I was like, hey, most times people use Zoom videos. In this, we're going to be able to use the transcript and then just kind of walk through the process and explain the benefits of everything. And as you start creating it, I highly recommend that you create this yourself versus just getting the import right away. Once you get understanding what's going on, then you can start using imports. But I say that because you want to know what you're talking about. And you want to know, like, if I gave you this spreadsheet after I clean it up and remove like this half, if I give this to you and you don't know what's going on, and someone questions, okay, well, how does this iterator work? I noticed that. What is that? And you don't know what's going on. Well, now you don't look as much as an expert. The way around that is just saying, let me get with my team. I just want to get a proper answer for you. I don't want to make up an answer and tell you a lie. That's a way to get around it, but you don't want to do that too many times. Um, so I am in the process of hiring a part-time admin assistant. That part I'm very excited for, and because there's a lot of times where I am the person doing everything. And in your case, you might be the person doing everything yourself, especially as you start off in your business. You're the make specialist, you're the go high level specialist, you're the finance specialist, you're the marketing specialist, you're everybody in one person. And a lot of times that becomes overwhelming. It's very tough because there's a lot of things that you just didn't account for. And now you have to go learn that entire thing. So, a really good book on this topic is Who Not How. Let me see if I can just it's actually sitting next to me. So, this is what the book looks like, Who Not How. And so, this book was so monumental to the way that I view things. And it's funny because it's how many pages is this? It's 170 pages saying the same thing over and over and over again, just giving it in different contexts and different examples, but it's saying the same thing over and over again. The message is mainly about rather than you trying to figure out how you can solve this problem, like the automation. Well, how do I solve this automation problem? How do I set up this go high level thing? How do I find my clients? How, right? Versus who can do it. And so when I looked at that, I was like, I see what it's talking about, but it's like, I don't know, because if I want to get more clients, then I had to hire a marketing specialist, and they're charging like $1,000, $2,000 a month. I don't have that kind of money right now to put towards this. So it's like I don't know. Like who sounds great, but how am I going to afford it? And there's a lot of times where the how comes back into play. So um, I started realizing that when you ask how, it becomes more expensive than who. And what I mean by this is this: there's a lot of times where I'm like, I don't have the money for this. I'll make the money by doing the service, getting the money, and then paying that person when I'm comfortable and I have the money. The problem was is that I never got comfortable. I never got to the point where I felt comfortable enough. There was one time last year what I did where it's like a $5 or $10 kind of like virtual assistant that I hired for like a month or something like that. And I couldn't do it because the language barrier was there. The fact that they couldn't call anybody because they didn't have an American number. It was just a lot. So ultimately, what ended up happening was I never got comfortable to the point of hiring somebody, and that always delayed it. And then I would have things pushed back, and then I got to the point where I got overwhelmed, and I stopped recording like these kind of videos, and my progress or my I'm trying to think of the word, the momentum, that's the word, that I was building up was slowing down. And I don't know if that's something you experience in yourself, where it's like you start building up this momentum, building up momentum, and then all of a sudden, life happens and it starts crumbling, and the rest happens. So now I'm at a point where I'm like, look, let me figure out a number that I could do, and we all have a number that it could work because we all know that we spend money on dumb stuff all the time, whether it's going out to the club or vacationing and things like that. Just starting with $1,000, right? Everybody can save up to $1,000. I don't care for an excuse. I did it when I was only making $40,000 a year, and I was doing it when I was only making $30,000 a year. I was able to save $1,000. Um, it may take you a few months. Do what you got to do, because at the end of the day, we're talking about potential $2,000 a month for one client. So this is game changing stuff. So it's like you just don't have to put in the sacrifice and delay gratification to get what you want if this is really what you want. And if you watch this video up to this point at 30 minutes into it, you're the type of person who can do delay gratification. And I truly, you are the ideal person who can get this done. I truly believe that and believe in you, because we're in video, what, eight, nine? I lost count. And you're still here. You're still sticking it through, still thugging it out. And that's what it's going to take you to get to that next level. What got you to where you're at now is not what it's going to take you to get to that next level. You're going to have to change the way that you're thinking about things. So let's bring it back around. Um, I realized that my biggest thing that is stumbling me is my organization. And I'm already organized because I have my iPad where I take down notes and I write down things and I have a daily planner and stuff like that. But there's only so much that I myself am organized with. It's going to take somebody outside of me to be even more organized, to help me identify these blind spots. As you're doing things, you're not going to notice your own blind spots because it's your blind spot. But it's going to be someone else who's going to look at it and be like, why are you doing this? And why are you doing that? And why don't you just do it this way? And stuff like that. So as I started going through who, not how, it really reinforced that idea. And luckily, I'm blessed at a point where I can actually hire somebody. If you are not at that point, feel free to reach out to me because what we'll do is we'll get your credit cleaned up. Once your credit is cleaned up, we'll go for business funding. And once you get the business funding, you can get business credit cards and use that to now front the pay that you need to do. So this entire process can take less than 6 months, depending on your credit. But imagine a world where you get a business credit card for $20,000, and most times you're that's like the minimum. Like I wouldn't say the minimum because like I had a card for $1,000, but with what I know now, my business partners that I know, $20,000 is very easy to obtain. So imagine a world where you get $20,000 and you set aside, however much for an assistant, right? So let's say that for me, I'm paying $15 an hour for an assistant, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. So this person can still have another job, and then in their in between time can work on my process and stuff. So $15 an hour times 3 hours a day is $45 a day times 5 days is $225 a week times four is 900. So less than $1,000 for an assistant whose main job and only job is to figure out how to make me more organized, make me more efficient, and also remind me of upcoming important things. And it's like, well, damn, that's a lot, Alex. Like $900 for just for somebody to remind you. I at first I would say the same thing. I would be like, man, that's a lot of money. $1,000 just for somebody to remind you. Why not just do it yourself? The thing is, again, we don't know our own personal blind spots because they're blind spots to us. The second thing is that when you are looking for the right person, that person that you're hiring is is filling in those gaps of where you're missing. So I know that I am not good in category A, B, C, D. So I'm going to hire somebody who's not just good in categories E, F, and E, F, whatever the letters are, right? Because I'm good in those categories. But A, B, C, and D, I'm not. So I'm specifically hiring somebody who's good in those categories. And it doesn't have to just be an assistant for you. It could be a sales closer. It could be a make.com specialist. You can go on Fiverr and hire somebody for $25, $50, $100 a project, whatever. If you're charging $2,000 a month to get this, and you only pay them $100 a project, well, one project equals $2,000 a month. There you go, right? Or if you hire somebody who is enthusiastic about going out and networking and being in different environments, you can hire a sales closer who's extroverted, right? I think that the personality types like E N something, T something, right? Where the E stands for extroverted. And you can hire somebody who is extroverted, who's good at talking to people, who's good at closing clients and stuff like that. And let's say that you hire them on commission. You got a $20,000 business card, and you can either have them on commission or say, hey, we're going to start you off at hourly, with a commission bonus to incentivize them to really go up above and beyond to these events and talk to people and really go at it. And so now you're not coming out of pocket because the business credit is fronting the bread. And then once you get your client, Now you can pay off your credit card. You get your rewards points from your credit card, but you also now have a client that's now going to be able to start paying for your services and stuff. So now you don't have to come out of pocket. So this entire course is showing you that you can build this entire automation business with no money out of pocket. Um, and granted, again, you're going to have to front some money because like Miro, you can get away with for free. Make you can get away for free. Go high level. You can do the trial. So if you need the trial, a 30-day trial, you can always message me and I'll send you my link, so you can have a 30-day trial. And within that 30 days, you can have your first client and not have that payback stuff. So it all really just depends on how you go about it. So as far as like this high level up here, the automation is right here. Let me go back to that. So the good thing is that I can copy and paste this entire workflow over to you. So if that's something that you're interested in, we can go about it from that way. Let me go to my actual. Okay, so leads and appointments and appointment discovery calls. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of go through these very, very briefly. So this one is for a discovery call. So we have our appointment booked. So trigger. So whenever the appointment status is booked, right? Appointment booked. The event type is normal. The appointment status is confirmed, and in the calendar is discovery call. To do that, you just add filters and type in this. So we do event type. Well, it's already there, so I can't pull it up again. But you just type in event type, and then that will pull up, and then appointment status is, and then in calendar. And that's how you get to all those. Same thing for opportunity changed. So if the opportunity is changed in this pipeline, so in the pipeline, business automation, we have pipeline stage is changed to booking requested, and we're going to add a contact tag that the discovery call is booked. If you don't have that tag, what you can do here is go down here, add new tag, type this in first, and then add new tag. We're going to create an opportunity. So again, you just go in here, type in create opportunity, update opportunity, boom, and that's how you get that. Or not. There we go. Try to get out of this thing. So we're going to create an opportunity within the business automation pipeline. Stage is booking requested, and opportunity name. I did contact name, so I just go over here, contact, and then first name. That's how you get this part right here. And then the pipe signal, right, or pipe symbol, this thing right here. So this is if you press shift and then right above the return button or the enter button, if you press that button where it's like a forward slash that looks like this, and there's another one that's straight up and down, that's this pipe symbol right there. And then I just put discovery call booked. And then opportunity source, I think contact, let's see, attribution. I don't remember. This one I don't remember how we got to the attribution source. Oh, right here. So contact, you scroll down to source, and that's how we got that. Right, and then the lead value. So we're going to put $2,000 because that's the minimum that we're looking for. And then status will create as open. We are not allowing any duplicate opportunities. Oops. And so we'll click save, and then save up here as well. So a couple things that we have happening is we have a confirmation message that goes out. Hello, first name. Again, use this little custom values thing right here, contact, and then first name. This message is to confirm your appointment at start time on start date. Please check your email for further instructions. You have successfully opted in to receive notification promotional SMS from my business. Please reply stop if you need to opt out in the future. You do need this part right here because if not, then you're not going to be able to send out text messages, and you can fall out of compliance and get in really big trouble. Next thing we're going to do is send an internal notification to ourselves. There we go. So 30-minute initial demo session call on this date at this time. And this person booked a discovery call. So we're going to get a confirmation email. And so I have a template that I had created up. And this is basically just like a really easy thing. Let me go over here real quick. All right, so if we go here to marketing, we're going to templates, I think. These don't look right. Here we go. Emails and then templates. So we have our invoice. Let me see. Appointment confirmation email. Yep. So here we go. So we got our appointment confirmed. And then again, it's pretty simple how I did this. I had just did a text box right here. And I think I can send all of this to you as well. So if you're interested in this and you don't want to create this from scratch, just let me know and we'll figure something out. But did another text box, your appointment's confirmed, hello contact name, appointment with, location name has been confirmed, date and time, location, and then some buttons here. So as you can see, we can just add buttons if we need to. Right there. So I can just add a button right there. And that's how we got that. And then once you're in it, you just have to make sure that you attach that link, the URL link. URL link, I think if you go back into your calendar and then you like export it and share it, that's how you can add that link in there. And then you can also add in these things. So this looks like a text box with this right here, custom values. So you can add this. So we can just go to an appointment and then reschedule link right there. Right there. And then, so again, these are our values. You just have to put them in double curly braces, which is right above the enter button. If you press shift, instead of the square ones, it's like the little curly ones. So you can do that there as well. I'll admit, I don't think I created this stuff. I think I just received it from somebody. So that's kind of how I got to that point. So if you want to skip this process and go through it as well, please feel free to reach out to me and I will send these over to you. So we got our 24-hour yes, no. Just wanted to confirm your appointment for tomorrow. Start time, Optimize Solutions. We got our 24 yes, no email, right? So this is, I just created this up. You should have spelled right. And I created this one, appointment confirmation. Hello, first name. This is my name. Want to confirm you're still good for tomorrow. Reply yes or no. And then we do some conditional formatting. So this one is a condition. So if you type in if else right here, that'll get you this one right here. So within this, we have a couple branches. We got a yes branch, a no branch, and then a none. So yes, we change the condition, the intent type. I like intent type because if they reply or replied message, if they don't respond exactly to the way that you need it to, it can mess it up. So I just do the intent type is positive or yes, and intent type is no. If it is yes, then we get a confirmed SMS, confirmed email, and then we'll wait. If it's no, then we'll try to reschedule them. Reschedule is, would you like to reschedule? We wait for the reply. And then again, we're looking for the intent type is yes or no. If it's no, then we'll just end it. If it's yes, then they can reschedule. This one, I think I was going to do something with this one, this webhook, but I'm waiting on that just for now. But moving on, we have our internal notification. This is scheduled for, we're waiting. Let's see how long we're waiting. 1 hour before the actual appointment. And then we'll send an internal notification. Hey, you got a call with this person today at this time. 1 hour before, we're also going to send them an email just to remind them. And then here's the Zoom ID. So you can just go ahead up here, custom values, appointment. We're looking for appointment ID. meeting location right there. And that'll get you this one. 5 minutes before, we're going to do the same thing. Send a text message. See you in 5 minutes. Here's the link to join. Username. We're going to send an email just in case people are checking their emails as well. And then we'll do a confirmation discovery call. And some link. Some link. Oops. And then we just add in the link to appointment. Oops. Meeting location. Cool. Save. Save again. And that's our discovery call one. So after the discovery call, again, just going through this very quickly now that you know how they work. So after our discovery call, we're going to send a text message. Welcome to Optimized Solutions. We're excited to have you here. Please check your email for the next steps. And then we have our template, which after discovery email. So after discovery email. So buying back your time. Hey, first name. Congratulations on the next steps. Yada yada. Complete the improvement survey. So we want to figure out what we're doing good and what we're not doing good. And then we also want them to schedule the account review. So that way we can trigger the next automation. As you can see, I named them, but I also put numbers here because when you change them or edit them, the order starts changing as well. So I just I couldn't remember what steps I was on. So I was like, all right, let me just name them. So third step, account ready for review or for setup. Whenever the account ready for review stage has happened, so we would manually change this in there. We send out first text message. We finished setting up your initial account. If you haven't already, please schedule account setup meeting, schedule here, and then we send out the same email with that information as well. Right. So we're just trying to get them to schedule their next meetup, their next meeting and stuff. So step 4. So it's a little bit longer one, but whenever the account review appointment is booked, so whenever they book an account setup call, we'll get an internal notification. Meeting is scheduled on same time, right? And it's kind of similar to the last one. We'll wait one day before to send out a confirmation text message. And again, the wait is you just type in wait right there, and that'll get you to this screen. We'll send out a text message one day before, just confirm it for tomorrow. Wait for the reply. We'll do the if else. We'll do the intent type. If they say no, we'll reschedule them. If they say yes, we'll do a text message. Great to see you soon. Here's to add on to your Google Calendar. Here's to add on to your iCloud Outlook. We'll wait 6 hours before. This is a reminder for your upcoming account review. You can access the meeting here. Wait 1 hour before. Send ourselves an internal message, account setup meeting. Meeting with first name in 1 hour, and then we'll do another message in 1 hour before, you saying, hey, we'll see you in an hour. 5 minutes before, we'll do the same thing. We'll do an internal notification, link to this person's meeting in 5 minutes. Here's the Zoom. And then we'll send that text message. Hey, first name, here's the link to join. I'll be on in 5 minutes. Zoom ID. So we're really doubling down a lot with these emails and text messages. But by this point, they should already be comfortable with us texting them. So they should be checking that a little bit easier than email. Step 5, account ready for review. So we'll send out when we change it, we'll change the text, email. So the first text. So Alex, we've finished making some changes to your system. If you haven't already, please schedule an account review meeting. I don't know did I just go over this? We'll go to step 6. Account ready for initial review. Actually, this is the one I just went over. So we're going to step 7. So account initial workflow reviewed. So this is after we have set up their stuff within Miro. So the last one, step 5, is when you set up everything in Miro and set up their account within Go High Level and make sure that all the stuff is getting ready to go. And then after we go through Miro and understand, all right, well, they want step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then create that inside of Go High Level. We change that status to account initial workflow reviewed. So account reviewed, right? So now we've already reviewed their account. We've created their account, and now we reviewed it, and now we're ready to go. So we'll set up the domain. So for me, I created a video in Loom where I literally just walked through the process of saying, hey, this is how you set up your domain within Cloudflare or Google or whatever that you may use. And then this is how you set it up inside of Go High Level. So I created that. And so now we have that. Steps for the domain, head to dashboard settings at bottom left, scroll down on left, select domain, enter your domain, continue, sign in, select authorize, right? So now they got a video of it and they got a way to just read it real quick and go from there. So now we're going to wait for the reply because again, why? We're waiting for them to respond done once complete. Once they do that, we're going to wait for contact reply right here. We're going to set up domain SMS, right? So we're choosing the ones, the text message that we're waiting to respond to. And these are the two options. So if they respond to either one, then we do an if else, and we're waiting to see if the replied message contains the word done or DNE, because some people just might misspell or something like that. So once we get that, we get an internal notification. And this internal notification is basically saying that they have their domain set up. Next steps is we need to log into a sub account, go to settings, domain, verify the domain is there, and then duplicate existing website or import a template or use durable.code to create one from scratch. Why am I doing this? Because when I'm ready, I can choose a particular user or a user assigned to that contact if I'm doing like a round robin kind of thing. So now I get to hand it off to somebody else as opposed to me doing it myself. Edit the business name, phone number, and address. So again, these are just giving them action steps to follow through. If there's no response, then we're going to wait for 12 hours. We're going to send them a text message. Hey, didn't get a response yet. Please follow up to get started. And I just copied and pasted that second half. And I think from this point on, I did copy all actions from here. And then I pasted it right under, I think right here. So when you do that, let's say copy all actions, and then you can just copy here. So that's what I did. And so that's where now it looks kind of like the same. So all I'm doing is each time I'm waiting for a response. If after 12 hours they don't respond, then I'm sending a text message. Still haven't got a response yet. We can't complete our setup until this is complete. Please complete the steps to get started. Please respond done once complete. And then if they respond done, we get an internal notification. If after the third time they don't, then we just mark it as a follow-up. Oops. Okay. So we have our no-show. So this is what happens if somebody doesn't show. So if the appointment is normal and the appointment status is no-show, so we'll have to change that manually. Or we add a tag, account review, no-show. We add that tag to them. And then what will happen is we'll wait 1 minute. We'll then email them, right? Sorry you couldn't make it. Hi, first name. We're sorry we weren't able to make your call. Let's get you rescheduled ASAP. Shoot us a reply to this message or this email or click the link below to reschedule. Please let me know if you have any questions. Reschedule here. Right? And then we're going to wait 5 minutes, send a text message basically saying the same thing. Sorry, couldn't make your call. Do you have any questions we can answer, or was it just a scheduling conflict? And then we're going to send out an email, again, waiting 1 day. And if you still haven't rescheduled or discovery call yet, we'd hate to see you miss out on incredibly valuable information in your results. Are there any questions we can answer for you that might be preventing you from scheduling. So I do have to go back into this as I now see this to add a chat bot in there. And one of the things I do have is an appointment setting bot. So I might be able just to swing them over here. This one's a little, I think I went over in another video of how I did all this stuff. A lot of this, again, it looks like a lot, but it's really just copy and paste a lot of times. So that's how I got to this point. And first one was just a contact created. So whenever there's a contact created, we have conversation AI. I went over all this stuff. If you need to, I can copy and paste this to you as well. You will have to be a part of the my Skool program, which is just a free course on everything it is that I do. Again, it's no upsells in it. If you do want to go to the actual paid community, I have that in the works. I haven't like actually set that up just yet, but that's for people who are like really like, hey, this is what I want to do. Like I know what I want to do. The free part is just like if you just want to try it out and see if it's for you, and I give you all of the stuff that you need to get started. And if you really want to take it serious, then you can go to the paid side as well. So we have all this stuff, all this information, and we have, again, if else. So no condition met, timeout, and then question 2. So we have a conversation AI, and we just kind of went through all the different steps leading to this. So if all this looks foreign to you, then you can go back and watch my other video on like where I break this down. But again, it's literally just copying question 2 and pasting it there. So I would just copy all actions from here. And I think I only had like this part. So I actually did this. So I would, once I set this trigger up, I had it either lead to no condition met, timeout, right here. No condition met, timeout, bot times out, question 2. And I just copied that right here, copy all actions from here, and then paste here. And that's what gave me, again, so no condition met, timeout, and I just changed it to question 3 right here, right? Question 3 to now question 4, same thing, question 4, question 5, no condition, timeout, question 5. And then we get to the point where now it's no condition met, timeout, book appointment. Oops. Yeah, it's a text message. So prospect would like to book an appointment, and then we get to the book appointment part, and that's where we just send out a text message, which great. Feel free to book an open slot on the calendar below, right there. So what I did was I would, let's say for this one, right, question 4, I would just copy and paste this one. So copy all actions, and then paste it under the timeout section, and then do the same thing. Copy question 5, paste it underneath this one, paste here, and then the booking appointment. So it's all the same stuff. At the end of the day, question 5, book appointment. All this is the same stuff. It looks like a lot, but I just literally just copy and pasted everything until it looked like this. So again, same process. Timeout led to the next question. Timeout led to the next question. Timeout led to the next question. So on and so forth. And then discovery call, no show. So I had an appointment, regular appointment. I think it was account review, and then a discovery call if they didn't do it as well. So we did the appointment, status changed to no show. We wait 1 minute. We send out the email. I'm sorry you couldn't make it. This is literally the exact same one as the other one, the account review call no show. So they're the exact same. I just named them differently and then set a different trigger. So all in all, I hope that this video was very helpful to you. You got to see my entire back-end process of how I go about the lead nurturing and onboarding portion. So now you have the entire process to fully onboard somebody. Or not fully onboard, but at least get them started. How you onboard them is going to be a little bit different for your business. I am still working on the 2 beta clients. I have 1 so far, and so I should be having another one coming in very, very soon. I think I locked her in or we're locking in at around $1,000 a month, um, which is like to her, it's like still a little bit or a good amount, but to me, I'm like, look, rather than me saying my services start at $2,000, I am changing it to now saying my services cap at $6,000. So I'm setting a very high anchor. Very high anchor is like 6,000. I was like, ooh, I can't afford 6,000. Okay, well, wait, like where are we at? It's like, oh, you don't have anything less expensive? Yeah, we have a 50% off kind of deal at $3,000. And in their mind, they're like, all right, well, that's 50% off. That's still a lot, but le- like you already came down a lot. Is there anything else you could do a little bit lower? Okay, yes, this is my final, like last thing that I have. This is my lowest tier is $2,000 a month. In their mind, they're like, this person just came down $4,000. He already came down 50%, and he came down another 50% of that. So in their mind, they're winning, right? In their mind, they're like, all right, cool. I'm getting more value because I'm getting this $6,000 package for $2,000 now. To you, it's like, wait, I'm now getting $2,000 a month, and I have the ability to really focus in on what it is that I'm trying to do because now it's just using the same templates over and over and over again from Go High Level that you don't have to create, and then using make.com so you can import or export that blueprint from their account or from your account, have them create a make.com account because now you don't want all your automations going through your account because that'll like use up all your automations for the month. You create the account in theirs and then you export the blueprint into their account so that you can import it. And now you just have a copy and paste system for $2,000 a month that you're charging. At that point, now you have the free time to really start diving in like, okay, well, they also want XYZ, da da da. Okay, no problem. Now you can start doing the work on the back end. They still think it's going to take, 30 days to get even just the first part. You're done that in a matter of, 20 minutes. And you have that entire month to now figure out how to get them that next thing that they want. Because 30 days from that point, which is 60 total days, they're expecting that result. So you have 60 days to get them going. You can reach out to make uh, people on make, what is it called? Communities. You can reach out to other like Skool communities. You can reach out to myself and we can work on this together. But you can just have that much more time to really get things going. Part-time customer success specialist, again, who not how, read that book. By the time that you finish reading that book, I guarantee you'll be like, look, maybe I just need to go ahead and lock that in because clearly what I'm doing is not getting me to where I need to be at. What took you to get to where you are now is not what's going to take to get to that next level. You're going to have to change your thought process, the way that you're thinking about things, the way you go about certain things. A lot of that's going to have to change, and it's for the better because now you can finally get to that next level because you're not always trying to do everything yourself. So again, I hope this video was very helpful to you. It is a little bit more long-winded, but it's because I really enjoy this and what I do, and I really wanted to make sure that I go in depth and make sure that you understand exactly what it is that you're doing in your business and not having really too much confusion going on. So if you're interested in it, please go ahead and hit the like button, comment down below. I try to keep an eye out on those. If not, then you can always reach out to me on Instagram underscore AJTHE, the number one, and TikTok is Alex underscore the underscore J, I think. Yeah. It'll be in the comments down below as well. But yeah, feel free to reach out to me and look forward to seeing you in the next video.